Has anyone seen my laptop? No.
I think we're on.
We're on. Welcome to the podcast, WAB. We are blind.
We are in fact blind.
Yeah, so we're here talking about different experiences we've had, discuss. That's where the camera is. Okay. Discussing where we have failed or we've struggled with our blindness.
Indeed.
Yeah.
David, I think before we get started, can you check this? See if it's good.
Which direction?
Like this over here. Right here. Can you read this?
It's a flat screen. I can't. You don't have a braille screen? You didn't get the update?
Wait, there's a braille screen?
You didn't get the...
Huh? What? Who's there? Who's there?
I think you need to see yourselves out. Like
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't
No.
see.
What do you mean see myself out?
Like you guys.
No,
come
we're
on.
blind.
Yeah, come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Okay. There you go. Good. Awesome. There we go.
Well, welcome back.
Well, welcome
To the
back.
WAC podcast.
We don't know what that was
chairs.
about. Maybe roll me a chair. Thank you.
I don't think I'm gonna-
Spencer doesn't have a chair.
Thank you.
All right.
Who
Thank
were
you
those-
to.
Who were those guys?
I
Who were they?
don't know. Did you recognize them?
I don't know. I know one of them was Andrew from one of my old American Sign Language classes, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. No, I didn't recognize them. I think they do the WAB. Is
The
that
WAB,
what-
the We Are Blind
We
podcast,
We
but
Are
it's
Blind.
Tuesday nights, and
it's Tuesday at 6:30.
Tonight's Monday, so
and
I don't
it's
know what
Monday.
they're doing here.
Yep. Well, welcome back to the WAC podcast. We're so happy that you guys are here. Another week, episode 6. Super excited that you guys tuned in. Last week we talked about a little bit about the election, and then we had some fun stuff that we got into. But this week we are going to talk all things about movie reviews.
It's movie night Monday.
It is
here,
movie night Monday, and
WAC.
we've been meaning to do this for actually a long time, but we decided to save this episode for now. So first of all, before we get started, my sweater is giving me a hard time. First of all, before we get started, we just want to thank the cast and crew. Where's my camera? Hi, we just want to thank the cast and crew that are here tonight. So we've been stage managing, and we have a lot of other people in here, as well as Cole's working audio, Nick's TDing, and Nicholas is directing. And so we always had Dylan and Joe Michaels, Joe Michaels is our professor. So thank you guys so much for being here. We could not do it without you. We love you all.
You guys are our lifeline. I guess that's a good way to put it.
The
I
WAC
can't talk,
lifeline.
but, yeah.
Lifeline. There you go. Also, pointing out something new, something fresh. We're in a different location.
We are?
We are.
Oh, yeah, we are. That's
yeah.
kind of crazy,
Yeah.
honestly.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Not really. It's
Okay.
not. There's not much to it. It's a table and a black backdrop. We
just-
can't go much further than that. Yeah.
Well, this is a podcast.
Yeah, for everybody listening, you guys don't actually know we're in a new space.
Yeah. Make sure to check
Maybe
out.
the echo will give them kind of a key.
There is
a
kind of a
giveaway.
little bit of an echo back here.
Yeah, it'll be bad on these mics, but that's okay.
Echo. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. Yeah, but we decided to switch it up. We're usually in the studio news desk area.
In Studio A, and now we're in
A.
Studio...
We're in Studio B. We decided to switch it up.
B.
But obviously, if you are just listening on Spotify, sounds like the regular old thing. But
yeah.
if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we have a black background. I don't know why I can't speak today. But kind of new, kind of fun, kind of fresh. So maybe we'll keep it like this. You never know. But
For sure, yeah.
before we get started, what all did you do over the weekend? How was your weekend? Do anything fun? Do anything special?
Nothing really. I worked Wednesday through Saturday, so
The Christian chicken.
the chickie. Yeah, I was a chickie working all weekend, and
Yeah.
then homework, and I filmed a documentary with
Yes.
Nicholas and Drew. We're doing a documentary on how churches and religious groups have been impacted by Corona and COVID.
Oh, wow.
Because churches really depend on that sense of community, and
Yes.
COVID has taken that away.
Absolutely.
So we went to a church in Clemens and filmed a couple interviews with them. That was pretty. It was a pretty cool experience.
Nice.
How about you?
Yeah, I definitely relate to what you were saying about the churches and everything, because my church has been heavily impacted, and I feel like a lot of churches are only getting about not even 50% of what they used to
Oh, yeah.
before COVID hit. Over the weekend, my mom and I, we took a little vacation trip. So my mom, she wants to retire in this little place called Washington, North Carolina, if you have never heard of it. It's on the Pamlico River right near East Carolina University. And it is just a small, quaint little town. It is our favorite, and it has a lot of history, and so we were learning about all that kind of good stuff. And fun fact, it's actually where I want to get married one day.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
right there on the coast. It's
Yeah,
like right
it
near
is right there on the Inner Banks.
Beaufort
so
or whatever
it
it's
is,
called, yeah.
It's probably about 35-40 minutes from Beaufort. It's not far.
Wow.
Maybe a little farther. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yes. So,
Wow. Oh, okay.
let's
Washington, North Carolina.
zoom in on that. Give a little shout out. I was trying to get a camera over the weekend so I could do a little promotional film. Yeah, could we zoom in on that, Peyton, please? Thank you.
Oh,
Washington, North Carolina.
welcome to Washington.
Make sure and look it up. There's a lot of cool stuff about it.
That's super cool.
It's a quaint, cute little town. So we left on Friday and we came back yesterday. From here, it's about 3.5, 4 hours. It's a good drive.
Nice, yeah.
It is. It's a long drive, but it was super fun. I had a good time, and
That's super cool, yeah.
yeah, my mom and I, we watched movies and we shopped. I actually got this new sweater.
Poncho,
so, yeah,
rug,
It's,
yeah. It is huge. It is
it's
massive.
nice. I like it. It's
okay.
comfy. So we got that over the weekend. But now let's get into our movie talk.
Of course.
Absolutely,
Of course. We
I'm
have
so
a
excited.
huge list prepared for you guys. It's really not that big, but it's sort of big.
Mine's kind of long.
Because why is yours so big?
Because so what I did.
Oh my
is,
God! It's all.
So what I did is so what we're doing is we're talking about, Ben, are you okay? So we're talking about not each genre, but the most popular genres of movies made nowadays.
one of the more mainstream.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have specific genres that we'll talk about, movies that are our favorites, maybe some that have recently came out or aiming to be coming out in a little bit in the next year or so. So first things first, let's talk about action. Do you like action movies?
Yes, of course. I'm a guy. I love action movies. Blood, guts, death, explosions, cars.
I feel
everything.
I don't. Do a lot of action movies have
Yes, definitely. Yeah, they're mostly war films.
violence
and
extended
violent
through?
films.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know it. I thought. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not a huge.
What did you think action meant?
I thought action was more along the lines of just I don't know. I didn't think it involved a lot of heavy violence.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm not a huge action movie person.
Really, as big into Marvel as you are?
I know. It's weird, but I think I like the overall adventure kind of sequence more of Marvel rather than the actual fighting of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. So so I have a few listed under action.
Jesus. Wow.
Notable movie is Wonder Woman, with
Gal Gadot.
Gal
Gadot. It's not Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot.
Is it? I thought it's not. It's Gal.
Gal Gadot. What do you
Yes.
think it is? G-A-L. There's
Gale?
only one pronunciation for that. Yeah.
No, but I watched that movie in high school, and that was a phenomenal, just so well done. And it's also with Chris Pratt.
No, it's the other.
No,
it's another
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ryan. Yes, but that movie is probably one of my favorite action movies. It is phenomenal. I think it's just woman empowerment, and I think that she is a phenomenal actress. So, what is one of your favorite action movies?
Okay, so for action, I was kind of torn because Saving Private Ryan, if you haven't seen that movie, is a very good action movie, but
Yes.
it's a lot more drama than the average action
That's
movie.
the thing that I got into is a lot of the movies that I admire in comedy
have
or drama.
Two
it's
things. It's very yeah.
So that's
so
why
I went with John Wick instead. I don't know if you ever seen the John Wick franchise or the
I have
trilogy.
not.
There are 3 movies, and John Wick is an absolute madman. He is so good at killing, and it sounds bad for me to explain it. But John Wick is really good at, like, he's an assassin and he retires. And so after he retires, he marries and they don't have kids, but they get a dog instead, right?
Okay.
Actually, I probably shouldn't explain the dog part yet, but whatever. But anyways, so somebody has it out for him.
Okay.
And they kill his wife. Mm-hmm. And so the entire movie after that first 15 minutes is just him going on a rampage, killing every single person he comes into contact with to find this person that killed his wife.
Oh, when did this movie come out?
2015?
Oh, so it was pretty recent. It's not like
The
older
first John
movie?
Wick.
There's 3.
I don't even know when it came out. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
It came out in
Who does it star?
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. It came out in 2014. Wow. And so the second one came out in 2017. The third one came out in 2019. So about 2.5 years between each one. So the first one, he kills the guy who kills his wife, right?
Oh, okay.
Second one, spoiler alert. The second one, they kill his dog. So he kills everybody, kills his dog. And then the third one, he's like banned, I think. I don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
What are they? Please, oh my God, that is awful. The blind kids are sending us inappropriate pictures.
The WAB are
WAB
sending us
kids.
inappropriate
God.
pictures.
That's
Please
horrible.
don't.
Jeez.
But
Anyways, yeah.
So that's so interesting. I've never heard of that movie.
Yeah, because you're a girl, though. I mean, girls don't watch. That wasn't sexist. There's nothing wrong with that. Girls just don't watch movies about like 24, like bloodbaths.
That's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Do you have any others in that kind of sequence?
I think John Wick they're honestly like their peak. A lot of the
Did it
Quentin
get
Tarantino
good
movies
reviews
are good
on
too.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes,
Yeah.
all 3 of them did.
Wow.
And
yeah.
the Quentin Tarantino movies are very good as well. They're very good action movies, but they're a lot more like adventure and drama as well. So I didn't throw those in there.
No,
But yeah.
absolutely, yeah. My other one for action, obviously, I'll talk a little bit about Marvel later on because I feel like Marvel goes more into the adventure
for
genre.
sure.
You know what I mean? Instead of action, it's a little bit of both. So I'll talk about my favorite movies in that. But Baby Driver with Ansel
That's a
Elgort.
really good movie,
Isn't that a
yeah.
good
Yeah,
movie?
that's an
and
awesome
with
movie.
Lily James, I saw that movie I think it was like my sophomore and junior year of high school, and it was phenomenal.
Yes,
I
it's a
feel like
very good
Ansel
movie.
Elgort did such a great job with just embodying this character, and he was such a freaking badass. Like
Yeah,
he really was.
he
That
was
is
super good.
that is such a great movie. I really, really admire Baby Driver. So moving on, do you want to talk about comedy?
Go ahead, you can take this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite, this is like the top one of my comedy, is RV.
With
starring
Chevy
Robin,
Chase.
No.
Oh.
Robin Williams.
Why did I say Chevy Chase?
And right? Phenomenal movie. And it's also with the girl who came to our university or was supposed to with no, with the 2 friends. Who was it? JoJo. She acts in that movie. She acts in that movie. Yeah. It's Reese Witherspoon. I literally watched Legally Blonde before I came here. But anyway, RV is one of my family and I's favorite movie because God rest his soul, Robin Williams was such a gem to this earth, and he is hilarious. Spencer looked up RV.
Okay, this is gonna sound really bad. I'm a huge movie fanatic. I love movies and stuff
You
like that.
have to
I've
watch
never
it.
seen RV.
It's a classic. It's with JoJo. It's also with what's his name from the Hunger Games? PETA.
Josh Hutcherson?
Yes, Josh Hutcherson. Bye, my love. Mwah. And
JoJo. Yeah,
It's
JoJo.
with JoJo, and then it's also with who acts as the mom?
Oh, bye, David.
Oh, yeah, I know he left. But anyway, huh?
Yeah?
Yes.
I mean, she's in that
yes,
as well.
she's phenomenal. But Robin Williams really just took this movie hilarious. One of the best comedy movies I've seen. Also, keeping Robert Williams is also Mrs. Doubtfire.
That is a good movie.
What
it's a very,
a classic.
very cute movie as
Yes,
well. I
yeah,
love
it's
that.
a hilarious movie. I think Mrs. Doubtfire is one of like my favorite comedy movies. It's hilarious. I love it. Do you have another one?
For me,
Yeah.
I said comedy. I said The Other Guys. I think that is an absolutely hilarious movie. Step Brothers is good as well, but The Other Guys
I was
is
about to
really,
put Step Brothers on
really
here.
funny. I didn't want to
Step
say
Brothers,
that, though.
oh, so
because
good.
that's everybody's favorite.
True.
Every
Will Ferrell, are you
guy's
kidding
favorite
me?
movie. Oh man, Step Brothers. Ha 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 ha. Did you touch my drum set? Yeah,
Did you touch my drum set?
everybody knows that line, and it's so
Literally.
overused. So I just had to use a different.
The
a
Other
different
Guys?
film.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen it though.
Really.
I don't think so.
It's,
I've heard of it, but I've never
Will
seen
Ferrell and who is that handsome man?
it. Look
Come
it up.
on.
Look it up.
I know his name. He looks like my brother. Mark Wahlberg. Thank
Mark
you.
Wahlberg.
Yes. Mark
Yes,
Wahlberg
thank you.
is incredible, and he's so good
He
looking.
is funny. He
What
is
a great
funny.
guy.
Yes,
all
absolutely.
around. But yeah, it's really good. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, The Other Guys. Another funny comedy one is, this is one of my all-time favorite series, Ghostbusters.
Oh yes.
Right?
Yes. Ghostbusters is really good.
Oh
The
my
first and the
gosh,
second one.
Ghostbusters is such a classic. I literally, did you watch the girl remake that
No,
they did?
I never
with-
did because I was like, that's disgusting, and,
And
it's
it
not
wasn't.
going to go anywhere.
It wasn't that good, and I was really surprised because it's with
Chris Hemsworth is in that.
he's in it, but who is the main? Melissa
McCartney.
Melissa McCartney, and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the blonde girl from SNL who plays Hillary Clinton. You know who I'm talking
I
about?
don't know her name.
You know
Kate,
who I'm
Kate
talking
Blanchett.
about? Kate Blanchett.
There we
yes.
go.
And I love both of them, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a great movie.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna
And
be
it
awesome.
just
Chris
didn't-
Hemsworth, are you kidding me? And it was okay. It wasn't as good as the original with obviously
originals- I
with
think the
Dan
first is so good.
Dan Aykroyd and Murphy.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, sorry,
Murphy,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murphy.
Sorry, Bill Murray, and so good. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's also with who's the main love interest? Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, I totally forgot she was in that movie.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah, and they are just, it's so good. I love Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite comedy ones. Moving on to another popular genre that I
Horror.
actually combined horror and thriller.
Really? I kept
Yes.
them separate.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so I combined it because one, I don't like horror movies. Two, I don't like thriller movies. So I didn't have enough to talk about. But
Okay,
why don't you go
okay.
first?
So for horror, I said The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Now, if anybody has ever, have you seen that movie?
No, but I've heard of it.
I just moved the whole
You
desk.
did.
That's how scared I am right now.
Oh my gosh. And that's your horror one?
Yes, it is a terror. Hold on, I'm coming back.
Huh?
I was locking the things on the
Oh,
chair or on
okay.
the table so it doesn't move.
The
The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It is so scary and riveting and thrilling.
It's both horror and thriller, yeah.
It is. I think like one of the best culminations of a good, like just a good like edge of your seat movie, because the entire time you're watching that movie, you don't know what's going on. You're unsure as to. Some revelations happen at the end of the movie, and it causes you to kind of question the beginning and the middle part of the movie, because you're like, hey, what is
And it's pretty
what is
scary.
the truth here?
And it's
'Cause you
pretty
don't know.
scary.
I thought it was more more suspenseful.
Okay.
It was more of a suspenseful horror than it was a like hack and slash
Or like jump scare.
Yes, there
Okay.
weren't many jump scares, but it's like everything builds up to one moment or to a couple of different moments, and you are sitting there on the edge of your seat, and you're just like, oh my god, like what is going on?
Yeah.
Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
It got really good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's really
So
good.
it's
Yes.
about this father and son that are like crime investigators together.
They do crime investigation and like embalming. Is that what that's called?
I
Where they
think
take them
so.
to the morgue and like pretty
Yes.
them up.
Yes.
And
And
they do all that stuff.
The
Yeah.
death of a beautiful woman who is, they don't know her
She's a
identity.
Jane Doe.
She's a Jane
Yeah.
Doe. And so they're trying to find out like what happened to her.
Yep.
Oh,
It is such a good. It is for anybody watching or listening. It is a very, very good movie. Please, if you like horror or thriller or like a
God.
mystery, please sit down and watch that movie. It is so incredibly good.
Ooh, get a little
It is
get a
so
little
good.
nervous about it.
Yeah.
So obviously, the only real horror movie that I've ever watched, this is so cheesy, is Jaws.
Oh my god.
Yep, yep, yep. That's really the only one that I've ever. Ryan's like, no, that's the
Just
only one that I've.
Jaws.
I'm telling you, it it's like not a super scary movie. It's
No,
actually, when you
it's
look
just
back
a
on it,
shark.
it's,
Oh my
don't
God.
look at me like that, child. Come.
Everybody
Do you
is
have something to
disapproving
say?
of
Do you have something
Meredith
to say?
right now. They're very upset that she hasn't seen anything else. other than
Yes,
Jaws.
like I'm being attacked over here. I mean, I'm not gonna watch The Conjuring. I'm not gonna watch.
They're all really- The Conjuring is
Annabelle.
really
I'm not gonna
good.
watch all that
All of it's so
dumb
good.
stuff. It just creeps me out. So I watched Jaws, and I refused to watch it when I was younger. The first time one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Another one is Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, that's a scary movie. That's creepy.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs,
that's creepy.
probably one of these. Probably
That's a
one
very
of the
scary movie.
scariest movies that I've seen. I don't like.
And that's got,
and those are both my horror and thriller, because I consider Jaws more of a thriller, and Silence of the
Lamb
Lambs.
is definitely horror.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
100%. It's not a fun movie. I wouldn't watch it. So that is not my favorite genre. I personally don't like it, but
I do.
good. I mean, everybody likes something different.
Absolutely.
So our next one is drama. And when I was looking through all of these movies, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch a lot of like dramatically like movies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite one that I listed here is Steel Magnolias.
I
So
don't think
it
I've seen
stars with Julia Roberts, and it came out, I think it came out in the 70s or the 80s, and it's about this, 89.
89?
And it's with Dolly Parton as well, and it's
What?
about like this
Whoa.
group of women that live in, I think it's Louisiana, and they just are like embodied together, about like the daughter, who's Julia Roberts' character, like she has diabetes, and she gets married, and she's trying to go through this pregnancy, and so like it's about like women just like supporting each other in a small community. It is absolutely one of my favorite movies. It is especially like
That's super cool.
being a woman, you know, like
Yeah.
it's just so like empowering to like see that like they have that community together.
That's really cool. I see
Yeah.
another movie you have on there is The Help.
Yes.
You was smart, you was kind,
Yes,
you was beautiful.
yes.
That is a good
I-
movie and one of my mom's favorites.
Oh my gosh,
that movie.
my mom and I watched that when it came out on DirecTV,
Aw.
and it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the actresses in that movie are unbelievable, and I thought it was just so powerful. And for each of these genres, I looked up most popular drama movie of all time, most popular action
And
movies.
just pick
of-
the ones that you would know and
Yes,
like, look at. Okay,
basically.
yeah.
And the first one that popped up was The Help.
Of course,
And
yeah.
it is so good.
It's a very good movie,
It is so
yeah.
good. I haven't watched it in a really long time. I need to rewatch it, but I remember it just being like such a very empowering movie altogether.
We should do a screening night for a lot of these movies. I
We
wish we
should.
could totally do that.
Yes,
like in the Red Room and
absolutely.
stuff. That'd be awesome.
So what is one of your favorite
So,
dramatic movies?
A lot of the movies that I like do have drama incorporated with them. Saving Private Ryan. big drama.
Amazing.
But
Amazing.
I chose 2019. And that is a World War I movie about two soldiers who are, I think they're British soldiers. Don't hold me to that. I think they're British. But it's this adventure, this journey following them behind I think it's the German front lines. And they go through no man's land, which is, where all the barbed wire and
Yep.
dead people are.
Yep.
And it's very, very true to World War I. Everybody has said that, the way they portray death and the way they portray brotherhood and things like that inside this movie are pretty much to the pinpoint when it comes to World War I history.
Wow.
And it is so gritty, gruesome. It's gut wrenching. Some of the scenes. It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because spoiler, if you haven't seen this movie, one of the more primary characters in this film, I won't say who he or she is. One of them passes away at some point during the movie, and you kind of find out, you're like, this is what war was. Like, this is how people lost family members, brothers, sisters, people
Yeah.
lost fathers
I
every
heard-
single day, and it is truly
I
a
heard
masterpiece of a movie.
that this movie was, it got really great reviews.
And it was also done in one shot. It wasn't done in one shot. There were multiple, I think 7 or 8 total cuts in the movie. But if you watch this film, you stay on the main characters the entire film. There is no break. There is no divide. There is no meaningless conversation or drama. It's from beginning to end. It's an hour and a half of just watching these two guys go through it.
Wow.
And it is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will definitely need to watch it.
For
Another
sure.
couple of movies that I want to talk about in drama is my mom is a huge lover of music. She grew up with rock and roll, and she grew up with just such kind of that 70s,
Those
80s.
icons, yeah.
Yes. So I obviously am kind of gifted to loving that music as well with her. One of my two favorite movies of all time is Bohemian Rhapsody, the story about Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Queen and Freddie Mercury.
And fun fact, I've actually seen Queen in concert. One of the best days of my life. And Rocket Man, that is the story about Elton John. Those two movies are basically just kind of life stories that actually came out pretty recently. I think Rocket Man came out 2 years ago, and Bohemian Rhapsody came out 2 or 3.
Yeah, they're both 2017, 2018.
And whoever, I can't remember, who's the guy who plays Freddie Mercury in the movie? He won an Academy Award for that.
Of course he did. He did an absolutely phenomenal job with it.
Unbelievable. And the way that he just embodied Freddie Mercury and his mannerisms and just his performance quality, unreal. So those are probably two of my favorite movies about I wouldn't say they're documentaries, but they're kind of like that.
They're like biopics and stuff
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
yes,
They're
absolutely.
very good. Very good.
Moving on, sci-fi.
Okay, well, I already knew where you were going to go, and I
Yes.
knew we were going to have the same answers on this because I literally
If you
said
don't
the
know,
exact same
I'm a
thing.
huge Star Wars fan, and I'm
Star
a
Wars
huge
girl.
Marvel fan. So obviously, one of my favorite sci-fi movies is the Star Wars series, but my particular favorite is, out of the entire series, all 9 movies, is The Last Jedi.
That's the 6th film. In chronological order, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's
okay.
number
So
6.
that's where Luke finds out that Darth Vader is his father.
Yes.
And,
It's
okay.
probably also one of the most popular and money-making ones.
Oh my goodness,
I
yes.
think of the series.
Yeah.
Because that's when, they got the original because the original movie, episode number 4 was
A New Hope.
A New Hope, which just called Star Wars. They weren't thinking about making a sequel to it or
trilogy,
anything.
yeah.
And then with The Last Jedi, it really just kind of brings kind of full circle
yeah.
everything. So that's probably one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies. Wow. But recently, for a class, I watched Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. Ooh. And it was, I can appreciate how it's a classic. Harrison Ford is probably one of my favorite actors, most gifted ones, but personally, it just didn't sit well with me.
Wow.
It really didn't.
Wow.
It is, I don't know. I didn't know how I felt.
I mean,
about
they're
it.
a little long. They are a little long,
Yes.
and they're a little. You have to pay
Yes.
attention and everything
Yeah.
to those movies. They're
So,
not
and
as
Ridley
fast-paced.
Scott is a phenomenal director, and I was
Yeah.
doing the project on him. But I don't know, Blade Runner was just it wasn't.
It just wasn't what you were fancying.
Yeah, I guess so.
understand,
But
I
what
understand.
about you?
So sci-fi. I was gonna say Star Wars, but
Obviously.
I knew right off the bat. I was like, she's gonna say Star Wars, and then we
Gotta
won't
pick another one.
have content for a couple minutes.
Yes.
So I went with Guardians of the Galaxy because they
It's
are
listed under this too.
amazing and
Literally watched both of them
best.
today.
Both today?
Yeah.
What have you done today?
I was at work.
You're telling me you got paid to watch 4 hours of Guardians of the Galaxy? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is phenomenal. I mean, with the
So
music
good.
track and
The
just
70s and the 80s classics,
like
they're
we were
so
talking
good.
about, so good.
They're so good.
And also when they were making this movie, they didn't think that it was gonna be
More than it was. They
Yeah,
didn't think it was going to expand into a trilogy
Yeah.
like Star Wars did.
And
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, phenomenal.
Killed
I think
it,
he is
yeah.
such an amazing actor. And this was one of the first things that I've seen because I wasn't a huge fan of. Was it Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec
Yeah,
that he was in,
I
yeah.
wasn't a huge fan of Parks and
Well,
Rec.
we're opposites there because I was a huge fan of Parks and Rec.
So you knew him from
and
that.
I watched it religiously every
Yeah.
time it came on. I think it was Thursday nights on NBC or whatever it came on, and I would always favorite show. It's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
And whenever they announced that he would be in a Marvel movie, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Andy
Awesome.
Dwyer's going to be in a Marvel movie. And then, lo and behold, it was fantastic. And it didn't really
So
reach
good.
critical acclaim. It wasn't like, 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But it was above 90.
It made a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
And it was hilarious.
Yes.
The
It was
second one's
so
so
good.
good as well.
Yes.
Like, they're both.
Yeah.
I
And
think they are solid
how
entries.
just diverse each of the main characters are
Exactly.
just make it like it's so good. I love it. Yeah.
They do really well.
Moving on,
Romance.
romance.
Yeah, man. I know you just took a peek at mine,
Yes.
so.
Why don't you go first? Why don't you tell
Okay,
yours?
of course. My favorite romance is 50 Shades Freed. Of course, it's one of the. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I was trying to think. I was like, wait a
No.
minute, fishes.
No.
Oh, okay.
50 Shades Freed is disgusting.
I mean, I'm not judging, but like.
And I'm sure every woman in this room and every woman watching has probably seen the 50 Shades movies, but they are awful. I think they're disgusting and gross, and I want to throw up every time I watch them. And, but I
what
said.
have you real talk?
I said Mr. Deeds. And it's an Adam Sandler movie about this really, really wholesome guy
Okay.
named Mr. Deeds. And he,
Okay.
finds out that he's, the inheritant of, is that right? Or heir. He's the heir
Yeah.
to, a multi-billion-dollar, the biggest company in the world.
Okay.
Right? And he finds out just by dumb luck that he is the bastard son of some,
Whoever, yeah.
billionaire or whatever.
Yeah.
And they take him in, and they're like, hey, Mr. Deeds, you own everything now. And he kind of adjusts to having wealth because he's not used to that. And at the end of the movie, he gives it all away because he falls in love with a girl, and they move back to his hometown. It is just it's so sweet, especially
Yeah.
for an Adam Sandler movie. It's really
Yeah.
good and really
Oh,
wholesome.
absolutely. Yeah. And he's, he's done a lot of serious comedy stuff, and he's known for that. So being in something different than that. So I have pretty, yes.
You are such a woman. Oh, my Lord.
So a couple of things I have to, one of two favorites. Ready? Top two. Ready?
Okay.
I'm a huge, I'm not going to say the dirty word, but I'm a huge fan of Nicholas Sparks. Oh my God, North Carolina, you name it, amazing. My all-time favorite Nicholas Sparks movie is Nights in Rodanthe.
I haven't seen that one.
So
I
it
don't
is
know.
about this. It is about this woman who she lives in Raleigh, and she has a best friend who owns the inn, which is an actual inn in the city of Rodanthe on the Outer Banks, right? And my mom and I have to watch it every time. It makes us cry our eyes out. But basically, he is. So she takes care of the inn for a weekend, and this gentleman who's a doctor in Raleigh comes and stays, and they meet each other and talk about their lives together and what's happened with him and his son and her family and her divorce and everything. And it is just
Oh my goodness.
it's a traditional love
And they
story.
fall in love.
And they do.
Of course.
And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. My other favorite romance movie of all time, and probably my top favorite movie ever, is Titanic.
Okay, I can respect that. I can let you go with that.
Unbelievable. Leonardo DiCaprio and not Kate Blanchett. What's her name?
Isn't it Jane something?
She is unbelievable. But for some reason, when I was younger, I used to be obsessed with the story of Titanic.
I've never seen it.
So,
I'm sorry.
I read
Yeah.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet,
That's what it
not
is.
Kate Blanchett, yeah.
Yes, Kate Winslet. I read literally all books on it. I went to the largest Titanic museum in Tennessee, in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's the largest Titanic museum.
yeah, I've been up there
Literally,
before.
I was like a kid in a candy store. For some reason, I love learning about the history of it, and that movie was just so good.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts.
That is a good
one of
movie.
a classic.
Yes, of
Dirty
course.
Dancing. Are you kidding me? Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan,
Steve Carell and
Steve
Ryan
Carell,
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, Emma
Yeah.
Stone. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days with Matthew McConaughey. So good. The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. I think so. Yep.
I don't know if I've seen that one or not. I'm
It's
not
good.
sure.
It's really, really good. But and
So
then
what's
I
that?
wrote-
What's that leave for us? What does that leave? Oh, musicals. Oh no, I don't want to do musicals.
So do you have a favorite musical? Did you
No,
write?
because I don't. I literally wrote.
Okay, I'll talk.
In A. No, I don't want to talk about musicals. I hate musicals. They're
Dude,
just not
have you
that
ever
good.
seen La La Land?
No, I haven't seen La La Land. No, I haven't.
Unbelievable.
I
It
need
is
to.
so good. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Unreal. And it's funny because it came out in 2016.
It's 4 years old. No,
and I
it's
watched it for the first time a couple of months ago in that class we were doing. Greatest Showman
Wow.
with
Oh, I've seen The Greatest Showman. That's a good movie.
Zac
That's a
Efron,
good movie.
Zendaya. What's his name?
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh
Yeah,
Jackman.
of course.
Huge. Hugh Jackman. And music is phenomenal. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite musicals. Sound of Music. Are you kidding me?
I've seen The Sound of Music.
One of the best musicals of
4.5
all
hours long. The sound of boring and sleeping.
No!
Like, oh, you can. I don't want
Ryan
you to.
is offended.
I don't care. It's 4.5 hours
So
of.
good. Do you know that my
you-
mom has actually been there where they filmed The Sound of Music?
Do you know? I don't
Beautiful.
care. What? Did you know that? It's literally 4.5 hours of. I want to marry your daughter. Oh, but you can't.
That's
And
literally
it.
not true. Have
That's
you ever
totally
watched the
true.
movie?
And then they move away and get married.
That is kind of a
and
side plot.
It is a big side plot.
Singing in the Rain. Really. So phenomenal. Being a previous tap dancer, literally one of my favorite movies. Grease. Hello.
Grease is good. I agree.
Mamma Mia.
Grease is good.
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
What's the one? I always saw it on like ads for Nickelodeon. This Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. Is that a musical? What is that? Because whenever somebody says Mamma Mia, I think of Traveling Pants.
What the heck? We'll finish talking about
Okay,
musicals.
okay.
You can list your favorite mystery.
My favorite mystery film?
Yes.
This is okay. So this is kind of weird
Because I don't have one. So you
because
talk about that.
it can go either way.
Okay.
There's a funny movie by Adam Sandler that he did on Netflix, and I understand a lot of people aren't into Adam Sandler, and he's not like this critically acclaimed director and all this other stuff, whatever. But it's called Murder Mystery with him and Jennifer Aniston. It's a very, very, very funny movie.
I think I saw that when I looked at mystery.
Super good. And then on top of that, there's another one, but this falls more into crime and thriller.
Yep.
But I love The Usual Suspects.
Really?
I think that's what the movie's called. Maybe I'm.
The Usual Suspects?
It's The Usual Suspects. Yeah. It's got not Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Some other really long.
Oh, that came
named
out
guy.
in
I don't know.
1995.
Yeah, it is such a good Benicio del Toro. Yeah,
Okay.
he's in Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Yes.
But they're
yes.
all they're so
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Awesome. Yeah. Also, one of my it was a documentary. It was the O.J. Simpson trial. What is that movie
A
called?
Day in the Life?
No. It was the
Or something like
the
that, I don't
Files.
remember.
The Files, not the series. It was actually a film, right? Was it a film?
I'll look it up.
I think so.
I
Or it
mean,
may have been a series.
O.J. Simpson film?
Trials or something?
Was it the Simpson Trials?
Yeah. No. The People versus O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. Okay.
Yeah, The People versus O.J. Simpson. That was a really good one. That was also with
Sterling Brown
and David
I don't know.
what's his face from
Dave-
Friends? Ross Geller. Yeah. David Schwimmer. Yes. So I added a few.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we
One-
on time?
I have no idea.
I don't either because it's
I have no idea what we're on
It's
time.
7:32 and I
Yeah.
feel like we are like
Yeah.
fooling. Like we are
We
going.
really are. 5 minutes.
35 minutes. This is a fat episode.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't care. Let's
absolutely.
keep going.
Okay.
Let's make it 2 more minutes and then we'll cut
yeah,
it
a
off.
couple more minutes. Sports.
I don't have any sports listed, but it would probably be facing the Giants.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
That's such
so
a good
good.
movie.
That is a phenomenal movie. That is so good. One I listed is The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock about that football player from
The Blind Side. I
The
know what you're
Blind Side,
talking
yes.
about.
Yeah. One of the most family. Oh my gosh, so good. Literally so good. Another fun fact about Meredith: she used to be obsessed, some reason, with the Rocky series when she was like 6 years old.
Like the trilogy.
Named-
or not trilogy, but
There's like 6 or 7 movies.
there's a ton of them. Yeah. The Anthropology.
Named
whatever
my
it's
first
called.
family dog after it. So Rocky series, huge fan.
Wow.
the original, or 4, where he fights the Russian one. You know,
Rocky
the,
IB,
it's
Rocky
when
4.
he fights the Russian
the
one.
big blonde Russian guy.
So
yeah.
good. Another one is Remember the Titans. It's
course, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
very
gosh,
good movie.
so good. Such a great movie. And 42, the one about Babe Ruth.
I haven't seen that one.
That was with Chadwick Boseman, who just recently passed away.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was one of his breakout roles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Phenomenal. Literally phenomenal.
Interesting.
I
What's that
did-
leave?
Huh?
Oh, you
Disney
added
and
Disney and
Pixar.
Pixar. Of
I
course.
did,
of
I
course.
did.
I did Adventure,
Okay, talk about your adventure.
and I think it's it for me because I've already talked about thrillers and we've already talked about musicals. Adventure is just the Grand Budapest Hotel,
Oh yeah.
of course.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you still haven't seen that movie.
No.
I know you haven't because nobody
But I've heard of it,
Nobody
and you were
watches
talking
it.
about it, and you
Yeah.
really, really like that movie.
because I'm obsessed with it. It's such a good movie.
I need to watch it. Absolutely.
But I'll let you close it up. Go ahead.
Uh,
What your last two? Disney and Pixar.
so Pixar,
Yeah.
Ryan, our content manager, will appreciate it. Coco. Coco. I love that movie
Is
because
that the guy with the guitar?
yes,
Yes.
and it is so good to be just like, it's such about family, and I'm a huge family person. And I don't know, like that's just one of my favorite, like all-time favorite Pixar movies. And they turned, in Walt Disney World, they turned Mexico, like the Mexico like village or whatever, into like
Coco's
themed-
village?
into like theme of Coco.
That's so cute.
It is
Holy cow.
amazing and it's adorable. And then obviously I had Disney. Some of my favorite Disney movies are Emperor's New Groove, Holes.
Nice.
Emperor's New Groove
They're
is
so
so
good.
good. Holes,
Yeah.
so good. Obviously Cinderella is my favorite Disney princess movie.
Of
and,
course, of course.
Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I thought Ralph's Break the Internet was really good,
It
and it
is
was
so
It was so
good.
meta, whatever the word is. It was, which means like it was mainstream.
Yes.
It was so like
Yes.
it caught up on all the texting and all the
Yes.
talking and all the
And
games and stuff like that. It was so
like,
cool.
it just, I love Ralph Breaks the Internet. Yeah, but absolutely. So that is all the list of
That was a
movies.
long talk,
It really was.
and we didn't even spend that much time on like any specific category.
No.
We flew.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We just kind of like breezed through. That's really all we have time for today. So we're gonna
Wrap
close it
up.
out,
Yeah.
wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're so happy to have you back here for another week. Make sure to tune in next week.
Well, we're hoping, fingers crossed, to have a director from NBC come through. He directed for 22
gosh,
years,
yes.
and we're hoping to have him on the podcast. Maybe that might happen next week. We're not sure yet.
Yes, he
But,
needs to talk about everything that he did with election night and
Oh, yes,
directed
yeah.
and everything like that. So we'll make sure to interview him next week. Make sure to follow, subscribe us, tell your friends. You know, we enjoy doing this every week. If you want to hear something specific, also let us know because we are just kind of rolling with the punches. Whatever this kind of, whatever you kind of want to talk about. So if you want to hear something specific, please let us know. Instagram.
That's everything, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Instagrams will be here in front of us, of
Yes.
course, up
Links
here,
down,
that
yeah,
kind of
links
stuff.
down in the bio.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. Tune in next week.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.